This is the Unifi Cloud Gateway Max, and if you look past the iPhone-esque naming scheme, I think this is one of the most exciting things that Ubiquiti is releasing this year. So some of you that dabble in the Unifi ecosystem may look at this and think it's the older brother to the Gateway Ultra, but it's not. I see it as more of a younger brother to a Dream Machine. Let me explain. So right off the bat, this is a full cloud gateway with access to all of the Unifi applications, so network, access, protect, etc. For that reason, that's why I think this is more like a Dream Machine and less of an Ultra, since the Ultra only works with Unifi Network. Although the Max and the Ultra look pretty much identical. So while the Ultra may be perfectly fine for those who just want Unifi Network, I think this is going to be sick for a lot of people who want access to the full ecosystem. So unboxing isn't anything too crazy. You get the actual device, the power brick, and ether lightning cable, and this little guy to help eject the NVMe drive. More on that in a bit. So I usually don't do videos like this with these new releases. I usually leave that to Cody from Mac Telecom or Chris from Crosstalk, but I thought this was exciting, so here I am. Yeah, nobody asked, but spec-wise, yeah, this is not a scripted video. This runs the full, Unifi application suite, like I mentioned before. It has 5 2.5 gig ports, which is an upgrade from the Ultra. So stepping into the 21st century with 2.5 gig across the board, and you get one dedicated WAN port, one combo meal one, so you can do LAN or WAN on it, so dual WAN for failover, and then 3 more dedicated LAN ports. Like I mentioned, all 2.5 gig. Now there isn't any PoE on here. I really wish there was at least one PoE slot to run, an access point off of or something if you wanted a really small setup, but there's not. You can do 1.5 gigabit per second of IPS routing, so making use of those 2.5 gig ports. I believe the Ultra doesn't do 1.5, so you do get more routing speed with this over the Ultra. Not quite as much as the Dream Machine or Dream Machine Pro or SE, but I'll put up a chart later and we can talk about the differences between all those. But like the Ultra, this supports 30 plus unified devices and 300 plus clients. So what that means, probably around 30 and 300. I don't know. I don't have that many to test out. So I'll leave that for the other people who can actually test that much of a setup, or that large of a setup. Talking's hard. And like I mentioned, there is an NVMe slot in here, and that is for NVR recording with Unifi Protect. So yeah, full NVMe drive in here. It comes with a 512 gigabyte one. I think that's their base, but they also are going to offer one without storage built in, as well as, I believe, 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte as well. So that's pretty sweet. Obviously something the Ultra doesn't do. And it does put it more with the Dream Machine, because like a Dream Machine, you can have storage and use it as an NVR. Same with this. So price, probably the most important thing. This is $279 with the 512 gigabyte NVMe drive. The actual prices for the ones without it and the higher tier models are to be determined. If I know them by the time this is released, we'll put them right here somewhere. And again, price-wise, it falls right between the Ultra and right between a Dream Machine. So I do think that's a fair price. It may seem like a lot. Obviously, context is everything. $280 is a lot of money, but for what you get here, I actually think that's a solid price. A lot of people ask me, what should I do to get started with the Unifi system? Because I do videos on Unifi, so people often ask me that. And I have a hard time recommending stuff to these people because this isn't large businesses coming to me and asking me this. So I can't just turn around and say, yeah, get a Dream Machine Pro SE, get you an Enterprise XG24 switch and all these Wi-Fi 7 access points. It's usually people see my videos and just want a cool home setup for Unifi access and with their camera line and everything. So I think this is the perfect starting point with that. You get the full access to all the applications. So if you want to build out your Unifi setup, you can do that with this. And it's tiny. You don't need a big old server rack to house anything. And yeah, I mean, this is what I'm going to start recommending people who ask, who want to start out with Unifi and get into Protect and maybe Access and all that good stuff. So comparison wise, I said I'd put up a chart. Here is a chart comparing the Ultra to the Max to the Dream Machine line. And as you can see, as it goes up in price, you also go up in specs. So, I mean, like I said, it does fit nicely between the Ultra and the Dream Machine line. So yeah, I mean, it's a fair price. It's an awesome product. I don't know what else to get at with it, but yeah, that's who I think this is for. It's more for home users, power users who want access to the full line of everything but don't have an entire networking rack. So what I would probably do is snag one of these, get a maybe PoE 8 Lite, and depending on your Wi-Fi needs, a Wi-Fi 7 Pro or a U7 Pro or maybe a U6 Pro, and you have a pretty solid little setup and you're ready to expand into some cameras. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this. I think it's an awesome product. I think it's going to be something a lot of people are interested in, especially if you want to get involved in the Unifi ecosystem, but just want a little desktop system to get started out on. And you have 2.5 gig, which is huge because we're slowly moving away from 1 gig being the standard and a lot of people asking for 2.5 gig. And here we are. So yeah, awesome little product. Link down in the description below. Go check out Cody and Chris's videos on this. I'm sure they have another perspective on this. That is it for this one. A little bit different of a video, but I just wanted to talk about this because I think it's an actual cool product. So I don't know, how do I end these kinds of videos? Do I do a dance or something? Do I